Mother-in-law sneaked into the couple's room in the middle of the night. She waited until her son and daughter-in-law were fast asleep, then quietly moved around, rummaging through drawers looking for her late husband's will. As long as she could find the will, she could kick her daughter-in-law out of the house. Turns out, the father-in-law had fallen seriously ill and wanted to thank Annie. He had his lawyer draft a new will, leaving part of his estate to her. However, that will was secretly taken by Annie's rival. The wealthy rival and the old woman changed the date on the will. They altered it to make it seem it was written before Al and Annie got married. That way if Al found it, he would naturally believe Annie only married him for the money, and that would surely lead to divorce. Originally the old woman left the will on Al's desk, but the little niece grabbed it to use as scrap paper. The old woman tried to snatch it back, but the niece refused stubbornly. She wouldn't give it up. Then Annie walked in from outside. The niece ran straight to her side. Annie asked the old woman, "What are you doing? You've scared the kid to tears." The old woman snapped back, "This is my house. I don't need your permission for anything." Everything was overheard by Al outside the door. He rushed in right away. Seeing her son, the old woman immediately changed her tone, pretending to be the victim. She told Al, "Your wife was being very disrespectful to me." But Al exposed her lies right away. He said he'd heard everything from outside. The old woman still tried to deny it. She asked Al, "Would you rather believe an outsider than your own mother who raised you?" Al said, "I only believe what I see and hear for myself." The old woman pushed back again, claiming Annie only married him for money. One day he'd see her true face. The little niece got scared and ran off. Now the old woman was completely furious. She was determined to get her hands on the will no matter what. She even snuck back into the couple's bedroom again, but still couldn't find it anywhere. She had no choice but to call the wealthy woman, who was extremely upset. She blamed the old woman. "You made me miss a perfect opportunity," and hung up the phone in anger. The old woman wanted that rich lady to help her join the elite circle, so she didn't dare offend her. Instead, she vented her anger on the maid. When Annie came back from her niece's place, she was surprised to find the divorce papers Al had prepared earlier. She felt heartbroken. Al also walked in and saw the papers. After everything that had happened, he believed he now truly understood his wife. Right in front of Annie he tore the papers up, saying, "We'll never need these again." Annie was deeply moved. Later Al went into the study, and spotted a piece of paper on the floor. He picked it up and realized it was his niece's drawing. On the back of the drawing was the altered version of the will. Al was stunned reading it. He never imagined his wife could deceive him like this. Everything his mom had said might be true. Annie really did marry him for money. But this time Al didn't lose his temper. He wanted to see how long she could keep pretending. Annie brought him coffee, which he rejected flatly, then walked away angrily, leaving Annie standing there looking lost and confused. The old woman knew her son too well. She was sure he'd seen the fake will, so she happily called the wealthy woman, telling her, "Our plan worked. Very soon my son will throw Annie out of the house. You can get ready to be my new daughter-in-law." But the old woman wasn't done stirring things up. She wanted to make it even worse.
Finalmente esta pesadilla terminó, querida.
The mother-in-law scolded her daughter-in-law for being a gold digger, then turned around and gave her a priceless necklace. The rich man was stunned. Since when was this old lady so generous? The old lady explained that this family heirloom should have gone to her daughter-in-law long ago. The wealthy man was relieved. At least for once she did something decent. He handed the necklace over to Annie, but Annie turned it down on the spot, saying the necklace was far too valuable. But the old man insisted she take it, and hoped Annie would wear it every day. As a small wish from an old man, Annie had no choice but to agree. When Al saw Annie wearing the necklace, it convinced him even more that Annie only married him for money, which was exactly what the old lady wanted. Al didn't show anything on his face. He even helped Annie put the necklace on the next morning. Annie was completely surprised. She didn't realize Al just wanted to see how long this so-called gold digger could keep up the act. But Annie was pure and felt incredibly happy. Today was her sister's birthday, so Annie planned to bake her a birthday cake. While she was baking the cake, she thought of Al putting the necklace on her. Her heart was filled with sweetness. She poured even more love into the cake, but the old lady dumped it straight into the sink. Annie asked what she meant by that. The old woman mocked her. "My daughter would never eat something this cheap. Just because you married into a rich family doesn't mean you're some fancy lady. To me you'll always be a country girl. You don't deserve that necklace." She reached out to grab it, but Annie clutched it tightly, because to her it was a gift from her father-in-law. The old lady was furious. She grabbed a glass of water and splashed Annie with it. That exact moment the rich girl walked in and saw everything. She couldn't believe how cruel the old lady was. That was the dress Annie planned to wear to the birthday party. Now it was soaked, so Annie couldn't attend anymore. The rich girl put on a fake comforting smile, and told Annie the old lady never supported this marriage from the start. That's why she always went after her. "Your best move is to just leave this house." Annie was left speechless.